Hilarious. Boris has the last laugh as Starmer hit rock bottom on Prime Minister polls with only 19%. Less than 1 in 5 Britons believe Sir Keir Starmer looks like a Prime Minister, devastating polling for the Labour leader has found. The heavy blow came as Prime Minister Boris Johnson finds himself under pressure from his backbenchers for his own performance in recent weeks. Amid a series of U-turns, broken promises and gaffes, Labour has been hoping to capitalise on the government's crisis. The new polling from YouGov suggests that despite the mess engulfing the Tories, Sir Keir still has a long way to go before being a serious challenger to Mr Johnson. Yesterday, 1,748 Britons were asked if they believed the Labour leader looked like a Prime Minister in waiting. Just 19% gave their support to Sir Keir, with 59% saying he did not. In another crushing statistic, a greater number of people said they were not sure of his credibility, 22%, than gave their support. Sir Keir's failure to connect with the public comes despite polling by the same company finding voters are dissatisfied with the performance of the current occupant of number 10. Boris Johnson was given a net approval rating of -35, a decrease from -27 a week ago. In total 64% of respondents said they believe the Prime Minister is doing badly, with just 29% saying he is doing a good job. Mr Johnson is looking to re-establish his grip after yesterday was the climax of several chaotic weeks. The Prime Minister's address to the Confederation of British Industry on Monday saw him lose his place in his notes, talk about Peppa Pig and impersonate a car. The government then only narrowly survived a rebellion over its social care reforms. There were 19 Tories who opposed the plans and dozens more who failed to vote at all in response to a cap on costs being less generous than expected. It followed a bruising few weeks which have seen Mr Johnson's judgment being questioned over his handling of the Owen Paterson row on parliamentary standards and Tory criticism of scaled-back plans for rail upgrades in the north. Last night a senior Downing Street source attacked Mr Johnson, telling the BBC, "There is a lot of concern inside the building about the PM. It's just not working. Cabinet needs to wake up and demand serious changes, otherwise it'll keep getting worse. If they don't insist, he just won't do anything about it." The Prime Minister's official spokesman this morning sought to minimise the fallout from Monday's events. He said, "The Prime Minister briefly lost his place in a speech. He has given hundreds of speeches. I don't think it's unusual for people on rare occasions to lose their place in a speech." The spokesman added, "The Prime Minister is very much focused on delivering for the public." Keir Starmer unveiled a new Council of Skills Advisers and set out plans for a future radical Labour government that will not provoke division in his keynote speech to the Confederation of British Industry today. The opposition leader announced a campaign to ensure young people leave education ready for work and ready for life, with a council of skills advisors comprising David Blunkett, Praful Nagand and Rachel Sandby-Thomas. The council will be tasked with recommending the change we need to ensure everyone leaves education job-ready and life-ready and exploring how to ensure that young people are literate in the technology of the day, Starmer said. "We would add digital skills to the basics of reading, writing and arithmetic. And I also want my council to advise me on how we can lift the sights of all pupils. We must encourage their ambition and be more ambitious for them," he added. The move came after Boris Johnson delivered his own speech to the CBI, which Labour called shambolic. It saw the Prime Minister lose track of his notes, saying "forgive me, forgive me, forgive me," and talk about visiting Peppa Pig World. Starmer today pledged in government to remake Britain's economy so it's fit for purpose and fit for the future. He said Labour would never spend money just for the sake of it and declared that a cap on investment is a false economy. He described a cap on investment as a cap on ambition and a cap on productivity, but he also sought to reassure business leaders on Labour's fiscal responsibility, saying, "We really don't think the solution to every problem is to throw cash at it. The solution to